Hello, I welcome you once again to my construction tips. So, all right, today I want us to discuss a very important aspect in the field of construction. Okay, we are going to talk about concrete cover of columns. Do you understand me? Okay, so this is what is known as concrete spacer, otherwise concrete cover. Do you understand me? We are going to use it for concrete cover. All right. I don't know if you have seen a steel or part of iron that are visible to the surface after construction. You will see it. The reinforcement that are meant for this for the project, you will see it. They will be visible to the surface. Okay, they will be exposed to the surface. The reason is because the minimum concrete cover we are not maintained. That is it. They did not maintain the minimum concrete cover. And I want you to observe, if you see those visible reinforcements that have stayed forever a long period of time, you will notice the traces of rust, or in fact, all of them might be rust. Okay? The reason is because it's being exposed to the surface. When the construction, this is what is called concrete cover. Okay? So, but this particular concrete cover is mainly for columns. Do you understand me? The reason is because so that the column rebar will not rest on the formwork. Okay, so the column rebar, we have to maintain the concrete cover. Okay, so it is very, very necessary. Though some amateur don't used to take care of it, they used to do rubbish. Amateur, but here we are doing something that is very, very crucial and important and very necessary. Okay. This is mainly for concrete cover for rebar. I hope you are seeing it. This is banding wire. We are using it to. We are going to use it to tighten it on the column bars. Okay. So that is it. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's very necessary. I have a lot of construction tips for you. And for those who might have interest in this work, those construction lovers, ensure you pass it to them, share it to them as well. Let me see your likes and your comments, your thoughts on comment section. Okay, let's rub minds together. All right. So this concrete cover you are seeing, when it gets dry, remove it and tighten it on the bars, on the column bars, rebar. Okay, so that when the formwork will be done, the bars will not rest on the formwork. So you have to pay attention where this thing, when it gets dry, we remove it, detach it very well. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Thank you. You should note, however, every part of engineering section is very necessary and crucial. It's not necessary to bypass some of these sections. All of them are very important. Okay. All right. If you know what exposed reinforcement used to cause, the causes and the risk that are involved in a project, you will not even temper doing it that wrong way. Okay, you have to adhere strictly. At least the minimum concrete cover have to be maintained. When an iron is rusted, okay, you know that a lot of things that are involved. The reinforcement will be weakened. Okay, the reinforcement will not have strength again. And after that, what happens? Crack. The compression aspect of the concrete will begin to weaken again. Okay, there will be visible cracks. The reason why these things are happening is because the iron is being exposed to the surface. And the surface you are seeing are made up of some chemicals. Okay, some elements like oxygen reacting with a reinforcement rod. So when it reacts, I don't want to go into that process. It will now make the iron to rust. And when the iron gets rusted, another thing is that it begins to weaken the structural aspect of the columns. The compression aspect, the concrete will begins to disintegrate, begins to fall off. And when that happens, there's every tendency that in the long run, the project, the contract, the work is going to collapse. So that is the reason why this simple thing, you shouldn't take it for granted. Okay? You should always try to maintain at least the minimum concrete cover. All right? So I want you to pay attention. These small things that people used to neglect at sight are those things that makes project work to fall. That's the reason why you should pay attention. Okay? So thank you. I want you to follow me through. This is what is called concrete spacer. Concrete spacer, just like I have said before. Okay, this is how it used to look like. It is being used to create the concrete cover. Do you understand me? It's very necessary, okay, to ensure the concrete cover. So to ensure the concrete cover, sometimes, or it is very necessary to cast this concrete cover, concrete spacer, and place it and tie it. You see how I use binding wire when I was casting it and place it inside, so that when I will be tying it, it will be easy. I want you to pay attention. Okay, there's something I have not told you, and that is what is, some people might be asking, what is the minimum concrete cover of a column? Okay, the minimum concrete cover, pay attention, I say the minimum. Okay, the minimum there entails that you cannot go below it. That is, it is not necessary to go below it, but you can go above it to some extent. The minimum concrete cover of a column is 40 millimeter. Okay, but for me, I'm using 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches is equivalent to 50 millimeter. Do you understand me? So that is what I'm using for my concrete cover, which I believe is necessary. So the main thing is that you shouldn't go below 40 millimeter. Do you understand me? So all right, one of the function of this concrete cover, okay, this concrete cover is that it prevents rusting of the iron. Okay, because if the iron gets exposed to the atmosphere, okay, it reacts with some chemicals like oxygen that are in the atmospheric chemicals, and even water, rainfall, okay, which can bring corrosion, which can bring rusting of the iron. Okay, and if the iron gets rusted, okay, there's something that will happen. Something will happen. It will weaken the structure, the pillars. And when the structure is being weakened, the project might fall, okay? And all your money and all your efforts are gone. So one of the functions of this concrete cover also is it helps during a fire outbreak, okay? So when there is fire outbreak in a building, fire will not easily get to the reinforcement so easily when you are maintaining the concrete cover very well, okay? So before fire will get to the reinforcement, okay, by then everybody might have been evacuated, because reinforced steel used to melt around 500 degrees Celsius, please, if I'm not mistaken. So as when the fire outbreak is being witnessed, so maintaining the concrete cover before fire could be able to reach the reinforcement, like everyone might have been evacuated, okay? That is a perception. Do you understand me? But when it gets to the atmosphere, when the concrete cover is not maintained, in case if there is fire outbreak, before you know it, the fire have hit the reinforcement, and before you know it, the something might weaken immediately. And you know that reinforcement is one of the main things that carries structure. And before you know it, within some time, few minutes, the structure will collapse. Then it will not give room for the occupants of that structure to be evacuated. That is it. Many people have been saying, why are they doing this? Why are they, some people will even just be very careless in maintaining this concrete cover. So I begin to wonder, they don't know the reason why this concrete cover is being maintained. They don't know. So one is that because of that fire, and another thing, so that the road will not get exposed to the atmosphere, so that it will not react with chemicals, atmospheric chemicals from the air and from the water, because when it gets reacted mostly with oxygen and some other elements, it will ultimately weaken the reinforcement. And when the reinforcement is being weakened, okay, it will now weaken the structure, and in the long run, if it continues, there might be ultimate collapse of that structure, and all the money, all the expenses is gone. And if care is not taken, it might even damage lives and some other things. So pay attention very well. All right, if you find this video interesting, please ensure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? Then, if you know those people, those like minds, please, I want you to share it to them. Let me see your likes, your thoughts on comment section. Okay, we are learning together. So, all right, the last but not the least, ensure you relate to your building expert, your structural engineer, when you are carrying out your project. Is very, very necessary. Okay, so that is it. Thank you very much. Okay. I hope you are seeing them. This is the concrete spacer I'm telling you about. Okay. I hope you are seeing them. I have already tied them. Hope you are seeing them. The concrete spacer. These are concrete spacer. Okay. That's already, it gives gap for concrete cover. Okay. So I hope you are seeing them. Look at them. I've already tied them firmly. Okay. Look at them.